What is better than giving someone special a bouquet of flowers? Giving them a quilt of flowers. Keep watching. Hi, it's Fran Morgan with Fabric Café, and I am your Fabric Matchmaker. Fabric Matchmaker is a series that we have here on YouTube that actually uses fabric from you, our quilter and viewer, and then we match it and choose a pattern for you. We have instructions on how to submit your swatches if you're interested in doing that at the end of the show, so keep watching. Now, our first story and quilt today is from Sandy, and she has provided us and sent in this gorgeous fabric, which is a floral. It's got all these yummy, spicy colors in it, which I just love. So it's a very traditional fabric, and she has a great story to go along with this. So let's check that out. So Sandy writes, I recently retired from a county government job after 30 years. When I was first hired, there was a lot of controversy from the prior staff. This made the first couple of years very stressful. Lois worked across the hall in a different office, and she was really the only person who was nice to me during this time. It all ended up working out, and a friendship was born. She was at least 20 to 25 years older than me, so the fact that we were fast friends has been remarkable. I found this fabric some time ago and have always wanted to make a quilt for her, but haven't been able to find the right pattern or coordinating fabrics. Hopefully, with your help, I can get this accomplished. Well, I think that is a great story, and thank you, Lois, for being so friendly and helping Sandy out. Sandy, I have a special quilt and some extra selection of fabric for you that you're gonna love. So let's check out the quilt pattern first. Sandy, I have chosen the pattern Traditions for your fabric. And what's going to happen here is this big block here is going to be where your focus fabric goes, which is what I'm placing your fabric swatch in. And then we've got two coordinating fabrics that'll go in the background and some of the points as well. So let's put that on the table and check out the fabric for you. So as I mentioned, Sandy, I have placed your fabric that you've sent in our number one position, which is the focus position. It is actually just this beautiful floral print, which I love, and it will go in this larger block here. And then it will also be one of the points in the half square triangle here. Now I have chosen a number 2 fabric, which will go everywhere you see white here. And I made sure that there was a lot of contrast between your fabric and the number 2 fabric, because we do want to make sure that we get plenty of contrast on those half square triangles. Then our number 3 fabric is this beautiful green. Now the green is going to border the block, so it's going to border your fabric, and as you can see, it looks amazing together, and it's going to be a really nice frame. The number 3 fabric will also be in your points for your star here. Now we do have an image on the screen for you, and you can see how gorgeously this is going to make up. I think Lois is going to be very happy with her quilt once you get it all put together. And Sandy, thank you so much for participating. The pattern that we are using once again is Traditions. It is from our brand new book, Make It Christmas with 3-Yard Quilts, and we are going to be sending you the book as well as the fabric number 2 and 3 to make up that quilt. So it is just going to be gorgeous. I'm so happy for you and so glad that you sent in. Thank you for participating. Now I've got something extra special for all of the other viewers out there. I have some other just absolutely gorgeous fabrics here. So we've got our number 1 fabric. Since you don't have the same fabric as Sandy, we have chosen this gorgeous floral in those same rich colors that Sandy's fabric had. And you can see all the yummy greens and reds and everything. And this one's extra special too because it has a little bit of gold on it, which I really, really like. And of course, this is going to go in the big block here, the number 1 position. And then we have the same number 2 and number 3 fabrics. So the wonderful beige that picks up all the nice creams in the number 1 fabric, and then our green here as well. And we also have an image for you on the screen, and you can see just how striking that turned out. I think it is just going to be an amazing quilt. And also, don't forget that when you buy 3 kits, you can have the book for free, because our Traditions pattern is only available in the Make It Christmas 3-yard quilt book. The kit on this one is called Friendship Floral. The number is 8022288. And once again, it is the Traditions pattern from the Make It Christmas book, which is only available in that book, and we're recommending Heartland as our alternate. Now our next participant is Joyce, and Joyce sent in this gorgeous fabric that has this green mottled background with these flowing flowers on it. And I really love the colors in this. The purples and the blues and the greens are great. And we also have just a little bit of rust in there. And what's really interesting, and you'll know just a moment after I read the story, this is an older fabric, and I think it's kind of interesting that these colors are kind of coming back, which I think is fun. So let's see what Joyce has to say about this fabric and why she's having a little bit of challenge here. Joyce writes, I purchased this fabric to make a dress for my daughter's 8th grade dance. She is now 37 years old. The dance was great, but she decided on a different fabric. We still love the fabric and have decided to make a quilt for her spare bedroom. Many colors blend, but nothing enhances the beauty of the fabric. Thanks so much for your help. Joyce, I think what a fun story, and you're right, these colors are really unique, and I think it's great that we were able to pull something together for you. So let's check out the quilt pattern that we chose. We have chosen the Stepping Stones pattern as kind of the #1 selection for your fabric, which will be great because we'll be able to get your green in here as well as another fabric to really show that off and make it look great. So let's look at our options. So Joyce, I did something very, very special with your quilt, and that is I have actually given you 3 options on what to do with your fabric because I really wanted to show the fabric, but there was one particular quilt that I thought looked really nice that didn't feature it quite as well. So I'm going to send you the book. All 3 patterns are in the book, and that book is Pretty Darn Quick 3-yard quilts. So the first one we're talking about here is Stepping Stones, that is including in this book. Your focus fabric will be here. Now, this is one of those little tricks that I did. I've actually put your fabric in the number 3 position. So I'm going to kind of put it on the bottom here so we can stay true to form. And I have chosen this great floral to be your focus. And we are putting it here. And then our number 2 fabric is this great kind of a warm white that will be your background. And then your fabric will be the steps in the garden here on our Stepping Stones pattern. Now, if you look on the screen, you've got that image there, and you will see just how gorgeous the green looks in this pattern. And I think part of the thing is the border is your beautiful fabric, and that really helps. And once again, the green was the darkest, so I think that it really highlights in the step stones, which I think is beautiful. And then the floral that we have chosen as our number 1 is really neat because it's in the big block and it just really enhances it. Now, as I mentioned before, I have 2 other patterns that I placed your fabric in, and I just kind of want to show you those because I think it's very interesting. The next one that I chose was It's a Snap. It's a Snap actually uses a double focus. And so it shows a little bit more of your fabric. It is still placed in the number 3 position, and our gorgeous floral here is still in the number 1 position and using the same number 2. But you can see that it really highlights and it really gives you that ability to see a little bit more of your fabric. Now the third choice I had, and as you see on the screen there, is our quilt Through the Window Again. Now that one uses the number 3 fabric, which is your green fabric, and the little window pane sashing parts. And I thought it just highlighted the focus fabric so well. And it just created such a great look, being able to place that darkest green in that pattern the way that it is. So it doesn't quite highlight it as nicely, but I think it looks gorgeous. So that is definitely an option for you. Now what's really great, all 3 of these patterns, the Stepping Stone, the It's a Snap, and Through the Window Again, are all available in the book Pretty Darn Quick. So I'm going to be sending you this book, and I'm going to let you choose which one you like best. I will also be sending you 1 yard of the beautiful floral as your focus and 1 yard of this warm white as your number 2. So Joyce, thank you so much for participating. Now, for the rest of you, I've got something just gorgeous. Let's check this out. Now we have a similar focus fabric here, which is this gorgeous floral, and it has all of the great colors, the purples, the blues, a little bit of pinks and greens. That is the same focus fabric that we've used in Joyce's quilts. Then our nice warm white, and then we have this great green with the vines, and you can see that coordinates so well. So for the rest of you watching, this focus, of course, will be in the big block. The white will be the background, and the green will be the stepping stones. Now, as you can see from the image on the screen, how gorgeous that is going to look, and it's just amazing. Now, don't forget that the pattern is in Pretty Darn Quilt book. It is also available as an individual, so you can do that. But if you get 3 kits, you can get that book for free, and you can also have the same options that Joyce has in making the quilt. Now let's get you the kit number on this so you can check it out online. The number is 8022289. It's called Dancing Memories, and it's a stepping stones pattern, and it's available as an individual or in the Pretty Darn Quick book. Now, our last story of this video is really cool. So whenever I received this fabric from Mimi, I thought, what a fun fabric. It's a little different in coloring, but you know what? The quilt turned out amazing. So let's read the story from Mimi and see what she has to say about this fabric. Her story is, I love to garden and have a habit of buying floral fabrics, but I don't always have a plan at the moment of purchase. Oh my goodness, haven't we all done that? This fabric spoke to me because of the unusual color. I thought I might use the larger floral shapes as a practice area for machine quilting. That never happened. Now it's time to get this out of my stash and make room for new. But the unusual color that I love makes it difficult to match. Well, Mimi, we've got something really great for you, and I have just loved the fact that this is an unusual fabric. So let me show you which quilts we have. I have chosen the Stellar pattern for this, and I like this pattern for your fabric because once again, it has the big block. One of the best things about 3-yard quilts is we have lots of patterns with these big blocks that really show off your fabric. And you have a larger floral, so this is going to work perfectly. And then we have this great star design here where your fabric will be in the middle, and then we've got some extras to go around here. So let's check out the fabric that we chose. And Mimi, I just absolutely love this fabric. I thought it was really interesting. And the minute I got it in, I got very excited. But I will admit, you were very correct in that it took something very special to put with it so that it really popped and really showed off your fabric well. So we are using it in the number 1 position, which is our focus position, which will go in the big block and the center of the star, as well as the border. And then I have chosen this really fun kind of beige dot to go with it. And this is going to be your number 2, which is your background. And then I've chosen a black dot to go with it, which will be the points of the star and on the border. And I think what this does is it gives your fabric that fun quirkiness that your fabric has, and it picks up on that. So it's going to make a really darling quilt. So let's look at the image of that because I just think it turned out so cute. Now sometimes, let me just point something out as you're looking at this image. Sometimes when we have a really big bold print like this, it almost is best to tone it down and go ahead and let it be the star of the show here and just pick fabrics that enhance it and not try to pick a really busy pattern to go with it. So we've really kept it simple, and that way your fabric shines with it. And so I really think it turned out great. So Mimi, for participating today, and I am so thankful that you did, I am going to send you the great number 2 and number 3 fabric, as well as the book Quilts on the Double. And this has your pattern, the stellar pattern in it, so that you will be able to make up that quilt. And I just can't, I hope I get to see it. You need to send me a picture because I just think it's a darling. So for the rest of our quilters out there, anxious to see something similar, let me show you that. Whenever I finally found this fabric that complemented something that Mimi sent in, I was so excited. So this is such a fun daisy fabric with this big yellow dot in the background. This will be the focus, and it will go in these big blocks here. And I think it has a very similar feel to Mimi's fabric, and I think that the quilt will turn out just as cute. Our number 2 is this beautiful white, and it kind of has a little bit of a dot in it as well as your background. And then our gray dot as the number 3, which will be your points and on the border. Now what's great is this contrasts really, really well. So it's going to pick up all those great points that we're making with our half square triangles. Also, this is a very large print. Once again, goes in the feature spot, but I've kept the coordinating prints kind of simple and subtle so that the focus fabric really pops because it is a big print. Now there is an image on the screen so that you can see how gorgeous this turned out. I just love the yellow and grays together. I think it's clean, it's crisp, and it's so much fun. So I just think it turned out gorgeous. So thank you, Mimi, for the inspiration. Now let's get the kit information on this. 8022290. It is called Quilted Blooms. The pattern is Stellar from Quilts on the Double. The alternate pattern is Friendship Star, which I think will also look great. Don't forget, if you get 3 kits, you can have the book for free. So keep that in mind whenever you're looking at our kits. Now, I have to thank everyone for participating. I just really love everyone sending in their stories, their fabric swatches. It's a little bit like Christmas every time I get an envelope in the mail with a fabric swatch. So I just love it. And yes, sometimes it can be a little challenging, but I tell you what, I am up for it, and it really makes me happy whenever I finally find the perfect matches for you. So if you would like to participate in Matchmaker, check out our website, fabriccafe.com. Go to the Free Goodies tab, and there you will see the submission form for the Fabric Matchmaker. And just fill that out. Give us a little background on your fabric and send in your swatch. We'd love to see them and love to match them up. I appreciate so much everyone for watching, and don't ever forget that our quilting affects everyone around us, so keep it going and share the love. Thank you so much. It's Fran Morgan, your Fabric Matchmaker.